Hey, we're back. What's going on, guys? Guess who's back? Back in town.
Shut up, Mark.
So we have this gentleman over here, Mr. John Espinette. What's going on, buddy?
How are we?
We have this gentleman over here. Why don't you explain to the audience who you are?
My name's Ronnie Giroux. I own Legion Speedway up in Wentworth, New Hampshire. And I was nobody knows where that is.
Dirt track.
Yeah,
Dirt track.
dirt track in New Hampshire. But I was on my way through, and I didn't know if maybe Mike Parks fell in the bushes or something. They said, "Hey, Ron, why don't you sit in on the website? We can't find Mike." I said, "All right."
Mike got lost in a bush apparently today. We don't know where he is.
He's been practicing
Sorry,
his mini
Mike.
golf.
But that's what they told me to say, Mike.
I don't think we ever said that.
No.
Okay, I thought of it on my own.
If it was, it would have
100
been Mark.
No, yeah, it would have been me.
That would have been
But anyway, I'm just thankful to these guys for inviting me to stick around. I was here today just to talk some stuff with them and learn a little bit about this racetrack deal.
So this
It's dumb,
weekend,
isn't it?
Yeah, real dumb move.
I know he walks in here like, oh, you guys have like people and office and stuff. It was fun. What do you think? When was the first? So you're not a lot of people come here. What was your first impression when you walked in? We got a kind of a cool little setup here.
It was good. There was a truck blocking the entrance and a no parking zone, it looked like. But
Yeah,
I,
that's mine.
That's
I
John's
walked by
truck.
it.
No, that's parked right next
It's
to
a,
you.
it's
so.
a build. Oh, good.
That's
But
right
I,
next to you, so
you
it's
probably
fine.
know the guy who owns the driveway or something. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's nice. It's something different. To see how the behind the scenes operate. All them people sitting at their big desk with laptops making deals. I'm like, damn, I
Wall
can sit in
Street.
my truck and drink coffee all day.
I can do that too. So this weekend, we went over to Claremont Motorsports Park and did the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. That was different with no snow.
It was.
It seemed like a regular race to me. I don't know.
I know, it's just a regular
Well-
enduro at that
Well,
point.
until the guys hit like the outside groove on
Oh,
the
that was
3
great.
and 4, and then oh wait a minute, this is what snow actually does, and then just they got looped. It was
You know
good
that
time.
was compacted ice under there. That
Oh, yeah.
little patch.
Oh yeah.
I look over at John and there's like car after car after car spinning out there. And I'm like, this is great.
No, that wasn't. I don't think that was necessarily the snow, but I think that was Keegan Tamer. I think it was Keegan Tamer. He had a Ford Crown Vic, and I watched the transmission just die. It just ball of flame, and I couldn't believe it. He fired it up like 8 more times, pissing all over the track. It made for a hell of a race.
It
Yes,
makes it
Joseph
interesting.
Carpenter, I am warm. Thank you.
The tower, that's the funniest part. The tower was like 85 degrees. We had that thing,
Oh,
me
yeah.
and John decided, we're like, hey, I don't want to drive alone. And John's like, I don't want to drive alone either. I'm like, why don't I just pick you up and we drive together? So we got there bright and
That's
early.
cute.
We bet
thank
we
you.
beat Mike Parks to the racetrack from Massachusetts. So that says, Mike, we got to work on your ability to get to the track earlier.
Hey, what about a winter enduro at Legion?
Yeah, let's
So
do
that'd be
it.
fun.
Very
Hell
cool.
yeah.
People have asked me to do it, but it's a lot of work for me. But if we want to do anything we can at that racetrack to make people have fun, we'll do it. We'll try. All we got to do is approach the town, and they're pretty good. They work with us. They work with me. So they like to see the place succeed just like everybody else. But
Now, I've actually never been to your track, but I drove
many
by it
have.
once. Well, no, because one day Jess is, my fiance is a huge, horror movie fan, loves Beetlejuice and all that stuff, and they're filming the new one in Vermont. So she said, "Can we go see the house?" Well, all right, fine. So we go up there, and I'm driving along, and I just see a sign that says Legion Speedway. I jammed the brakes on. I'm pretty sure her head hit the dashboard. I got yelled at for that.
That was awesome.
And I'm like, honey, that's Legion. She goes, what's Legion? I go, oh my God. So we pull in and we're in the parking lot. And I go, honey, let's just go in. I know the guy that owns this place. Let's go. And she goes, no, I want to see the Beetlejuice house. I'm like, all right, look, can we just at least just stop by the fence and look? And we did. And I wanted to break in. But
I'm going to tell everybody my favorite Jess story and my favorite Ronnie story. Can I tell the story of what you said
I don't
in the
know what's-
boardroom
you can
at
tell anything
Daytona?
you want.
We walk in and you got to understand at these RPM promoter workshops, we have everybody from Matchbox car, racetracks all the way up to NASCAR. So, and every mix in between. I've met Ronnie a few times, but hadn't really got to talk to you much until we're at RPM. Ronnie raises his hand in front of everybody and says, I own a racetrack. It used to be a really shitty racetrack. I painted a couple buildings, still a shitty racetrack. So I went, looked at John, and I was like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
He's great because you are what racing is about.
That's what this whole thing is about to me. I grew up in racing, and I want to continue doing it. And at the one in Indianapolis, what is it? The Racetrack Business Conference. It's the day before RPM. So there's people from, like you said, little Matchbox cars, all the way to F1 in this room. And this woman stood up, and she owns Alaska Raceway Park. And she's
Lady
like,
track boss.
I have the most beautiful racetrack in the world with the backdrop and everything like that. And for some reason, I had asked a question, and they asked me where I was from. And I said, well, if she owns the prettiest, I probably own the ugliest. And all these millionaires in the room and what, I mean, because there was a lot of F1 people at that because they were there for something different, and a lot of IndyCar people. And they all just laughed. And after they came over and asked me where my track was. So that's how you meet people. That's how you network. Right? I'm not.
100%.
Oh, definitely.
I'm a people person. I talk to anybody, and sometimes I'm pretty sarcastic, and people take it the wrong way. That's why I fit in with Ben and these guys, I think.
So we woke up on a Saturday. It was pouring rain in Florida. We had already talked amongst ourselves the day before at the racetrack. I don't think Jess was around, that we were going to go explore an old racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
That was 3 hours away. And
She was not happy.
I love Jess, and this is so funny. Ben says, "Oh, we're going to go check out this. We're going to a new racetrack today." She's like, "It's raining." And he's like, "Oh, it's 3 hours away." She's like, "We're driving 3 hours in the rain to go watch a race." And Ben's like, "Oh, hell no.
They're not racing.
That track's been closed down for 10 years. We're driving 3 hours in the rain to go look at a racetrack that has nothing on it." Ben's like, "Absolutely."
Oh yeah, I love.
We
that
get
stuff.
there, track is boarded up solid, no gate. Mike's like, "Heck yeah,
Yeah. No gate. It was pretty much we had to jump a fence and then we had to run through a field of picker bushes and stuff.
The funnier part was me. Now, it's two fat guys and a 60-something-year-old man trying to hop a fence, right? It's like, I'm going to go park the car. So we hopped the fence. I thought one of us were going to die. We didn't. I turn around.
I thought they were going to die.
Right. Because
Oh.
you're in Florida. All right. There's gators. There's rattlesnakes. I just see Ben in shorts trudging through, I'm talking tit-high grass. You know what I mean?
No. It was literally like picker bushes this long, and I'm wearing shorts. And I'm like, oh, this is a bad day for shorts. Oh, God.
It's a bad day to walk on top. And Jess is like, what were all the mounds out there? I'm like, rattlesnakes. You're fine.
So we're trying to leave. And now we get ready to leave after we walked around. We're soaked at this point. It was a cool experience to check this place out. Bronson, in case anybody's wondering. And we decide to go the other way because I'm not walking through Rattlesnake Island to leave this track.
Yeah.
So we get ready to climb. This gate's higher. It's like to my shoulder. As I start getting ready to climb, Ben's like, "Hey, dipshit, there's no fence on the other side of the gate." He just walks through and walks back to the road. I was like, "Oh, sweet." Yeah. One of the cool things down there, soaked head to toe. Go into the grocery store, a convenience store across the street, full of clothes. Bought myself like just a shirt to change into.
So Florida's funny because the people down there, I didn't meet a single rude person. I've been to New York twice.
Yep.
Worst people I've ever met in my life. I'm sorry if you're from there. Just the city, really. But everybody was nice. We got to New Smyrna, I think, the first night. And it was a process. We had to get all our bags. We're going to go check in. Ben's got Sterling, the baby, in the carrier. We're strolling him through, and some guy just comes out of the bushes, and he's like, "Hey." Instead of walking all the way down there, because we're in the overflow lot, there's a little cut through in the gate. I see you have a baby.
Yeah, this is good. Okay.
Turns out, me and Mark had to grab barbed wire fence and pry it open like we're letting a tag team
step on it and then pull it through.
And Ben's like sliding the cradle through. I'm like, "Thank you." The guy was standing there too. He's like,
Then he says, "Look for me out on the track. I'm driving the pace truck for the ASA tour."
So the funniest thing was me and Mark see this badass truck roll through, and I'm like, that must be our buddy. And then we see like this little Honda Ridgeline with a sticker on it, and I'm like,
that's him.
that's him.
Oops. So yeah, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre was to be expected. There was no snow. It was still an entertaining time.
I'm a Hudson boy. I love a good old fashioned enduro. I mean,
Goffin pulled it out along with Brandon Gray.
You can't not. I hate to say it. Matt Goffin and that beat to crap Saab that he's been running forever now. You can't not put your money on him. I mean, that Saab is ridiculous. I mean, not to uncredit Matt, he's a hell of a wheelman, but that Saab is just
fast. And I heard it's a different Saab.
Oh, is it?
I heard he's got a couple.
He's got a bunch of them, I guess.
I knew he had like a small fleet.
But I heard they pulled this one out of the woods and like pulled the bumper off the wheels and stuff to make it roll.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Poor Drake Nelson ruined his car. He'd been running.
He used to, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or on the pole, yeah.
All right, we should be coming back on live here, guys, in a second. I don't know what happened in the building.
I don't know.
Blame it on the new guy.
Yeah, what are you doing over there?
Working? Yeah, we're working.
Yeah, Richard, we already rebooted the system, so.
All right, so now, so I have ADHD and I've lost every track of what the hell we were talking about at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
it. Just want to make sure. Here we go. So let's get into. You want to talk about something or what?
Oh, hang on. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I know my train.
No, that's what
I
we're
saw a
talking
squirrel
about.
now, so now I'm completely lost.
Drake Nelson. Poor kid.
That car.
Yeah.
That's a fast little Saturn. I mean, they've got that thing worked out, and I looked up, and his front bumper was touching his ankles, and a poor little car.
I know. I think he's done a lot.
Jimmy Russell says, "Pay your damn internet bill, Ben." Ben, we're actually stealing it from the neighbor, so
whatever.
The guy upstairs fainted and just shook the system.
Oh my god, yeah! I'm pretty sure the guy upstairs has heart attacks at least twice a day.
Sugar problem.
We say this as a joke, and then we're in here with Michelle last week, and she's like, "You weren't joking. That's like every 27 minutes."
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm like, absolutely is. So I mean, I'm looking forward to what John has to say.
Yeah, so we might as well get that out of the bag, right?
Let's go on over to boop, 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 boop. And I don't think I have. That's the best part about things restarting.
You have nothing.
I've got none of my.
That's fine.
Got none of my short. Here we go. I got none of my shortcut keys. So
last year, I mean, everybody knows that Ben took over Lee Speedway, and thank you, Mark.
Yep.
But
that's what we should announce first.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Sorry, I'm so excited.
Thank you, Uncle Mark. But no, so Ben took it over, and we're really last year we were kind of taking over, doing our own thing. We were still dealing with a schedule that we really didn't write, but we were trying to make the best out of it. And we had some good events. We had some events that we'd like to try. We had some events that we know definitely won't work in that caliber again. So next year, I want to announce we are definitely doing a all-American hot dog eating contest. No, we're not. No. We're not doing that.
I hate you.
No.
I hate you so much. It's not even funny.
It's for the people. I didn't.
You can't. You got to give the people what they want.
You guys conspired against me. That's all I'm trying.
But no.
So dock your pay.
So there's come on, man. But there was a lot of stuff that worked. There was a lot of stuff that we're definitely going to bring back and try our own way. One of the things that we did do was bring Kyle Busch, and a lot of people were asking if he's going to be coming back in 2024. And after talking over the last couple months, we know that he wants retribution from coming runner-up last year against Eric Griffith. So officially,
with this hand, with this button,
oh yeah,
right here, it goes live. You tell me when, Mr. GM.
Go ahead, buddy. So that's out as of right now. We just officially released that kind of
share to Facebook.
James, of course, says fix the sound.
What's the matter with the sound?
Unmute your TV, Jimmy. It's the mute button.
Sitting on the remote.
But yeah, so June 21st, Cup Weekend kickoff, Friday night. Kyle Busch will be back at Lee USA Speedway. And also, to add on to that, this will also be a $10,000 to win race. And big shout out to Tom Keene and
Keene Auto Parts.
Keene Auto Parts, KeeneParts.com for putting up a big sponsorship towards that. So the Keene Parts 150 is back, and Kyle Busch will be returning at Lee.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And I know I know my fiance's here. That is her number one driver. So I might be single that day because she's going to try and go after
That's
Cubs.
fine. I'll take you. You
Oh,
can come
sweet.
over. You
Thanks.
can third
Thanks,
wheel with
buddy.
me and
Much
my girlfriend.
appreciated.
But yeah, no, that's some big news.
Her name actually says Jessica Bush. It's like she changed her name on Facebook.
Yeah, I believe that.
All right, so I got one other person who I trust just texted me that the sounds funny. So you guys talk while I listen real fast.
So yeah, what do you think, big guy? I think last year we were packed, and I think this year we're
Oh,
going
it's
to
gonna be
pack it in even more.
Even more. It's going to be a good time. Hey, no, we'll do stick him in a dirt car and have him run at Legion.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a good idea to bring, a cup guy or somebody, a name, drag racing guy, anybody to a local short track, because the people that don't follow short track racing every week, they know them names and they'll go to Lee USA Speedway just to see that event, and then they hopefully come back on a different event.
Well, and there's a lot of people that I meet too, and I'm friends with a lot of people that they're into racing. A lot of them they're into NASCAR. A lot more than they're into the short track scene, just because that's what they've been exposed to more. So if we can get these, that's what we need. We need more of the NASCAR, the top tier fans to come and hang out with us, grassroots fans, and vice versa. NASCAR needs our grassroots fans to start getting more entertained by what they're putting out.
But nowadays, with so many people, well, not so many, but more and more drivers going from grassroots to Bush, Cup, or whatever, you get somebody that's got experience, and then they can come back. Chase Briscoe ran that dirt race at Loudon last year.
Yep.
And Vegas wanted to see Chase Briscoe, in my opinion. They didn't want to, they want to see the sprint cars, yeah, but they all flock towards that one driver. So when you get somebody like Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson, you see what he does when he goes to a dirt track. They're letting fans in at dirt tracks now in the high limit races. They're in like track prep, so they're not bored watching track prep on dirt track. They can go into pit area now. They can see Kyle Larson or whatever, and then they can go back to their seats and say they saw Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
So it works. So you can do that same thing at Lee Speedway, where Kyle Busch is going to bring people to your racetrack.
Oh, and he did.
And it's going to bring people back.
And just so people are aware, we will have proper ticket windows open that night. Last year was a definite learning curve for us.
Oh, that was a real fast learning
we had
curve.
it damn good packed until about that 5:30 rush showed up, and I about shit my pants. I have a picture on my phone. They were lined up almost, and people know how long the distance is between the ticket booth and the road. They were almost there, and it was 20 minutes before race time.
But Kyle Busch, he enjoys doing that.
Yeah, he had a good time. He said he had a good time. Afterwards, 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
30 minutes. He hung around. He was talking to fans, signing autographs, and I gave him a ride to his car, and we'll see him again next year, right?
So Gene Clark is asked, advance tickets going to be available?
Yes.
All tickets for the track are available right now.
Yep.
So real quick, too, just because I answer this about 15 times a day, and so doesn't John. Camping passes for the Nationals, all that is available at leespeedway.com. All you have to do is click buy tickets right there. It's got tickets for all the events. It's got multi-day passes for Oktoberfest, camping passes, national passes for the weekend. All of that stuff is right there. leespeedway.com. We have fixed our website.
Yeah.
It used to be leeusaspeedway.com. It is now leespeedway.com. So update your bookmarks and browser settings and all that happy stuff. And
I see Chris commented, hasn't been to a race at Lee in over 10 years. You got to come back, buddy. It's bigger, better than ever.
the question is what one to come back for, because there are so many good races. What do you got? Let's go through really what you have at Lee this year.
The Pro Stock Nationals we're opening up with on the 18th.
Check.
Friday night before that, we have a full card with the Crown Vic race.
Check. That's a good one.
That's a predecessor, but that's a good one. Let's see. ISMA Big Block Super Modifieds, Kyle Busch Night, MRS, school bus racing.
I can't wait to see that.
That's going to be fun.
That should be cool.
Because I actually want to drive a bus.
But it should be
I
cool.
had a feeling Ben was going to be in a bus.
A bunch of good
short
stuff.
one.
Will a division Kyle Sun Racing be there that weekend as well?
No. I actually tried to play that aspect, and it's just it's not as easy as you might think it would be.
So anybody that link that somebody G-Boy TV put in, don't click that. That's spam. You guys should know better that you only click links directly from us, correct? Don't click these
Yeah, don't
weird.
click the-
If it's a third party, it's a scam.
If you
Why
can't
this guy
pronounce
is-
their name,
Right.
don't click on it.
G-Boy TV 123tv.usashowcase.com/flow.
I get my weather from that website.
Yeah.
Power Wheels races.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
we'll be
sending
doing
it over
those.
at Dunkin' Donuts.
And then I saw another one on there. Oh, Chris was asking about photo booths. So we don't have a photo booth. It's. I'm not a photographer, so I don't really know the business. But every photographer that I know now sells online digitally.
Yep.
So what I want to try to do is get a couple of those. You know those frames that do slideshows.
I sure do.
I just want to upload some of the last event stuff and have them at the souvenir
That'd be actually
stands
really cool.
with Emily Miller, Rich Hayes, our photographers' QR codes or links to their websites.
Great idea.
It's probably the best way. I've thought about 100 different ways, and without having these people print thousands of pictures that they might not sell, it's a lot of money up front. So that's the easiest way to kind of get.
I'm going to
that
show
in the
that in a second.
Oh, okay, so that's not.
That's not live yet.
Okay.
So me and John are two morons.
middle. Oh Jesus, what are you doing?
So we are in Daytona and we see this guy with a selfie machine, and he's like,
Yeah,
You
this
guys
is
wanna
another
try it?
thing that I wanted to do. Yes,
"Look at these idiots." I had so much fun. That took 6 seconds.
we are morons.
Oh,
and it was fun.
They have those things all over the place now.
I have this card.
But that's what you want to try to
This
do.
is what I wanna
integrate
do
with
with Lee.
with,
Right.
and we're going to try and integrate Hudson and Claremont as well with these. But we're going to use Lee as guinea pig for it.
So the family section at Lee, for the people that have been going there, I'll explain it. You have the main tower, the announcing tower, the officiating tower. There's that one section of grandstands. It's always been the family center. There's no smoking,
Yep.
None of that stuff, no swearing. Right behind that, along the grassy area where there was that little shed,
Yep.
we're going to put a family fans zone
Yep.
where we're going to have something playful for the kids, an interactive zone for something like that
Yep.
selfie zone for our fans to go check out. Because I noticed last year at Lee, the way that the property set up, it was really, I don't want to say difficult. It was more easy for the fans to stay on that one side of the
Yep.
racetrack where they have the beer, souvenirs, and food. So I want to give reasons for them to go around and check out all the different views and stuff that we have to offer at the track. Because I'll tell you what, last year I saw 100 people in that concession line, and concession 2 was open with nobody there. So just trying to get
I did see
spaced out.
John go yell on the mic, "Guys, if you're waiting in line and you're hungry, like
Yeah.
right over here."
Like,
Well, that's
yeah.
just it. With luck, we'll have the concession thing solved too this year as well.
Yeah, we're working on concessions. That's about as much as I'll say right now. We will have somewhat of a revamped concession area this year
Mhm.
that should be a lot better for everybody. So
Yeah, I agree.
The
Uh,
season's looking good.
it
I
is.
can tell you.
Can we talk about we might as well. I mean, can we talk about the new project that you have being worked on right now a little bit? Or?
I'll wait on that one because that
That's fine.
was still in the works, and
That's
I'd
fine.
rather just wait and all that one.
I'll just tell you guys, there's some really, really cool stuff coming to Lee.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's talk
at
about
all the
this though.
tracks.
Summer 6-pack series
hell
for
yeah.
the Super Streets. Like,
Oh, hold on a minute. Mr. Ron Evans Sr., the reason why the campers are parked so close half the time is because sometimes we prepare for more campers than we thought there were going to be. So that's why we had you park really close. Both so this year, we're going to play it a little different. So you won't have as much.
yeah, we
problem.
lined up the lines this year to exactly what they were on the ground before. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. So
Yeah, we just went over what the old lines were there, and we tried to pack you in somewhat of an order where we get you along the tree line and then fill you in, because once you get 8 campers that
Yeah.
are all inside of a row, it's really hard to start getting guys
Yeah.
backed in and fill the spaces. And if we do, we'll know better. That's why I'd really like, if you're gonna camp, if you have friends that are coming to camp, make sure you guys get your passes early so we can judge what's going to be coming.
Yep. And if you're camping with people, you need to show up together.
Yeah. If you don't show up together, you're going to be a couple spots away, and that's just how it is.
Unfortunately, everyone can back a trailer, so you got to back a camper in at 9:30 at night,
That's
pitch
right.
dark. So,
Yeah.
summer 6-pack series for the Super Streets guys.
I'm excited for this.
This
Yeah.
is fun. This is a pretty cool little thing that we're doing. The best part is the drop race. That right there absolutely makes this thing
We're gonna add one
achievable.
more. We're gonna do like what NASCAR does. We're gonna do a dirt one.
That would be fun.
Want to go to Bear Ridge for that one?
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. Guys to go, they don't like racing
I'm
those
like,
cars.
what?
From what they tell me, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I had to
But-
throw a little jab in
As
there.
long as we
Alright.
leave him on the 790s.
Yeah.
We still got time.
So, kicking off the Summer Six Pack Series at Claremont Motorsports Park, over to Hudson, back to Claremont, Lee, Hudson, and finishing up at what I consider the
The fest.
historic
The
Oktoberfest.
fest, baby.
Yeah.
$1,000 to win, $150 just to start. Like that's a pretty good little fun time right
no
there.
mandatory
And
buy-in.
bear in mind too,
no registration.
that's base. If
Yeah.
we find sponsors for this for per race, it can be it's going to be more. It's just
No entry fee, none of
No.
that.
That's a pretty good deal right there.
So the fun part, I know I saw people asking, and it's not on the flyer, but people were asking about laps. So I can't tell you off the top of my head in what order it's going to be. I can tell you for Lee, but each track will have a 50-lap race and a 77-lap race.
Correct.
Why 77 laps? It actually kind of worked out pretty cool. Mike came to me and he goes, "Well, I want to do a 77 lapper because it's Claremont's 77th year." And I was going, "Well, I was going to already do the Lee Weldy Memorial with 77 laps." So we can just use your imagination with Hudson.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can make your own story there. But that's it all ties in together pretty well. And I think those 77 lap races, you're going to put those guys out there for 77 laps at Lee. That's going to
That's
be
gonna
some
be fun.
strategy.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to, you want to talk about fall off?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be fun. That's going to separate the boys from men.
I got to give a shout out to Emily Miller real quick though, because she took a picture of Claremont Motorsports Park from an angle I'm not used to seeing pictures from. And
that's a really
awesome.
good picture.
that is a beautiful view. So big props to
Road
Emily Miller.
course.
Emily does not get enough credit for everything she does for short track racing in New England. So I just want to take a minute and thank Emily from all of us here for
Yes,
everything
I'm
that you
trying to think,
do.
where is that? Okay, that's one and that's the top of
Claremont.
1 and 2. Yeah,
Yep.
no kidding, jackass.
That's Claremont. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes, Timmy Griffith. Ronnie here has invited you guys to come to Legion to have fun over there. It's not a points race or anything, but
You get your 2 dwarf cars, and you get 3 or 4 of the other guys to come up, and we'll make it work.
yeah,
Right?
Right.
That's the cool
my
thing
deal
about
at
Ron.
Legion is we like to run a no pressure racetrack.
Yep.
We ain't never going to be Hudson, Lee, Claremont, in my opinion, but we want racers that have race cars that want to race on dirt, to have fun. Then that's your place. You want drama? Go to Vermont.
Yep.
I'm just saying. That's just my opinion.
That was one
Because of all the messages I get. And yeah, I get messages every day about enduros and front wheel drives and all that. And yeah, I would like to do that, but I have to really stick with my people that want to race there every single week. We are going to do a street stock race in July, which will be something different for me because that's what I like. I like that kind of racing. I used to race them back in Connecticut. But the thing is, if you want to bring dwarf cars there, bring 2 or 3, just let them try it, and they're going to go tell their other people they race with that, hey, that was pretty fun.
Right.
And then the next time you have 5 cars or 8 cars.
and the tires that the dwarf cars run, they do use those for dirt as well.
Right, but you don't
So-
have to change anything.
No.
Because when you have to start changing something to go run from,
Yeah.
like at Claremont, they run the dirt modifieds and they run the coupes. At the end of the year, he usually runs them on the racetrack. And some guys go buy, super modified tires or whatever they run on a sprint car. And when I was involved with Scone, Mike had called me about running a Scone race for exhibition at Claremont, And I think it's a good idea, but it's not a good idea when you have to change everything. A
Mhm.
dwarf car, just bring it as it is. And if something breaks, you're going to know that you're putting, too much pressure on your race car or something. You're going to feel it because it's going to feel different. I had a kid bring a go-kart there last year that raced at Claremont. Like, you sure you want to take that out on the racetrack? It's only got like an inch clearance. Oh, yeah.
They're fun.
Oh, yeah, but
I've done it a couple
he
times.
was
They're fun.
flying,
Yeah.
and then he hit a rock or a little pothole, and it just blew the motor right off the thing.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. I got a video of it. It's pretty cool.
That was the funny part about meeting you. I met you at Indy.
Right.
And, you talk to a lot of people, especially at Indy, but it's always, you could ask a question like, what would it take to bring the dwarf cars to a dirt track? And most of the time you'll get let me think, it's a lot of Oh, he's like, "Man, get 3 of them. We'll bring
Bring 'em on up.
How many cars can you bring? How
Yep.
many people can you bring in my back gate?
Yep.
That's what this whole racing thing has turned into. And yeah, because of my car count and my location and me not knowing how to run a racetrack 100%, I'm up to like, hey, let's
I love
Hey,
Ronnie.
we're not
but let's just screw it. Hey, I don't have these fancy setup. I'm not gonna get one of these though at Legion. I'm gonna have my own podcast next week.
Hell yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But no, but what I'm saying is, if you guys just want to have fun, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
This life is too short.
Well, you know what? You might just got your dream come through because Mr. DeCourcy here is trying to talk to his sportsman division to see if they want to come
Oh,
run
yeah.
up
I'm
there.
telling you,
That'd
man.
be
Just
awesome.
you
That'd
guys,
be awesome.
my
That'd be
contact,
awesome. Pro V8s up there.
my
Yeah,
go
contact
see that.
information is there. Like I said, I get swamped with the 4-cylinder people, and I know that's money in my pocket, but I can't do it every week. And unfortunately, the 4-cylinder races that I've seen under, there's too much drama and there's a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Well, in my racetrack ordinance with the town, if there's a fight at the racetrack, the town has the right to close the facility.
Ooh.
That's why we
Yeah.
run a tight ship there.
Yep.
And it's only for that reason. If the place closes tomorrow, what do I lose? I lose nothing. I lose nothing because I have 50 acres of land, right? But everybody that owns a race car, everybody that enjoys the sport, right? I mean, I retired from a construction career. I could go swing a hammer tomorrow. It wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit. But
I don't think I could deliver oil anymore. Could you imagine me in this shape trying to drag an oil hose around anymore? I don't think so.
if there was a food place, you probably could do it.
Sarah says if Jason lets her, then she'll run like she doesn't wear the pants.
I know, I was just gonna say.
See, I don't know the people in the comments.
And he goes, yes, dear.
These
Yes,
are
dear.
these are dwarf car people.
So I
Yeah,
actually
don't know
got
the people in the comments, but I do. Without my glasses on, I can see a few people are typing the word Legion. So I'm like, hey, people know where it is.
during our meeting earlier, so that's why I hadn't responded back to Jimmy D. He wrote a message because we were in the middle of a meeting, and he was like, "Make room next week. Jimmy D's coming on. Can't have you on next week because I have a surprise guest for you guys next week.
Who?
Little blast from the past.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Coming back on
Dad?
No.
You want my dad on a podcast?
Dad would be.
I
I
do.
I
Yes,
actually.
I do.
watching it right now. All right, I'll do it.
I've told you for a long time. I either want your dad on here, or I want one show where none of us are on, and we just put the 3 Hennessy's here and press play.
Oh my
I
god.
actually want nothing more than a Matt show. That would be
Well,
hilarious.
there's 4 chairs. Matt, Hennessy, Hennessy, Hennessy.
Oh my God.
It would
Yeah, right?
We'd break the internet that
This is.
day.
I'm
Yeah,
just-
we would.
But that's what these things are about, right? People.
Yeah.
Austin says my dad and Ben's dad.
Yeah, dude, we just need
Oh,
a
boy.
dad show of all the dads.
No, you know, how about your dad and my dad?
Down. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Your dad's stories are some of the best.
Yeah, holy
I-
That's
crap.
not.
So we have a lot different of an audience that we had 2 years ago. And I put this out once before and got no response from anybody. I would love to do a wives and girlfriends show where we get some of the wives and girlfriends of drivers at the facilities to come on and kind of tell us what it's like behind the scenes. And guys, we know it's not just you out there every single week. You're not doing it without your significant others.
If
So
you
Maybe a
did
really-
that, if you did that, you would know exactly what trailer to go into for good food.
Yeah.
So,
Because now, back in the day, or even
I
at
already
Legion,
know that information.
you got open trailers. Right now, you go into a big trailer with a crock pot and everything. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. It'd be really funny to do the husbands and wives. Just
yeah,
have
that
like
would be funny.
just have 3 wives and like Brian DeStefano. You know what I mean? Like find a girl that raises, get the husband.
Oh, that would be fun. Oh, it'd be Hodgkins' first time on a podcast.
Hodgkins.
I had to keep that alive. It's no way you can't.
Sorry.
Emily says she's the wife of Claremont. What's that track? Lee and Hudson are her side pieces.
Hey, no.
Yeah, yes.
That's right.
So, actually, I got a question. So, Ronnie, now you probably had, you probably have a good amount of people working for you, right?
No, just me pretty much. I have a few. I have like 5 people, and they're key people. The one girl that does the tickets and everything, she's tremendous. And I have a flagger now because they would just walk off the flag stand and not come back after a week or something.
Hey,
And I-
that's happened to Hudson.
I put my brother out there one time because he thought he wanted to be like a flagger. That was his dream. And he looked like the Statue of Liberty. So this guy Tim Clark, he's like, hey, I used to flag at a dirt track in Tennessee. I can do better than that. I said, you're hired. He's been with me every week now. So, but we are looking for help. If you're in the area or you're not racing at one of these tracks or something on a Friday night, you swing by or contact me. We'll give you something to do. We're going to try to do something with the Cub Scouts or something just to get them there and usher people it gets you involved in the community, and it also gives them a way to approach people and learn what this thing is about. But as far as track help, I mean, I need flagger, record drivers. I got a few people that say they want to help me. It's really good. I got one lady, Wendy, that's going to help me with the scoring.
That's him. I
All
said,
right.
I think we have a guy
He's
that might
hired.
want to come and help you. And Corey Donaldson was the guy.
Yeah, we all said that earlier, Corey.
Yeah.
It's the first guy.
Your name was mentioned.
That's awesome.
Well, that's the thing is, it, especially around
Legion Speedway. This is what we're
Romney,
talking
New
about.
Hampshire.
Right. But the problem with Legion, in my mind, it's been through too many people. It's been changed so many times. Where these other tracks, whether it's in any track in New England, they're pretty much been pretty owned regularly by the same people. The same people work there. You could go work on a Friday night at one track, Saturday night at one track, and Sunday at one track, right? That works. It works for you if you own 3 tracks that run on those nights. But if you're coming to work at Legion and you like working on another track and the guy tells you, hey, you can't go there. Well, that's not right.
Right.
No.
That guy, the people that work at racetracks, they love racetracks.
Yep.
They want to work at racetracks. They don't want to go sit in the grandstands. I got people that come to Legion as fans. They don't even watch the racing. They sit at the 2 picnic tables and talk like they haven't seen each other in 12 years.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care. But it's hard to find help in anything these days.
Mhm.
But Legion, we do struggle in the help department. The few people that we have, they are key. They are dynamite. It wouldn't happen without them. But we just need more of these people to believe in what
Emily
we're
says,
doing.
are you looking for a photographer?
Sure, come on up. But you're probably busy on a lot of Friday nights.
Yeah, you gotta check that schedule pretty close. We need Emily as much as we can. Emily's a
steal
great
anybody
photographer.
we can.
Pieces are waiting.
I'm telling you, a dirt side piece is really good.
I'm trying to call the show more off sauce. It's pretty good.
Kevin Brown, who?
Well,
I would love to get Bob and him on together.
So when we were
Oh,
talking
God,
in the
that'd be
back
funny.
room, when we were here for the meeting, that we were talking about stuff to just kind of make this all work together. Now that meeting is over. Now we're just sitting around. I mean, it's like we all got beers in front of us, and half of us probably don't drink.
So, and what we're thinking about, well, I'm pretty sure Ronnie's on the same page. What we're going to do is that we're going to have a dirt section on this podcast now, which will pretty much give all of his stats from his drivers and everything else.
Results, stuff going on
Exactly.
next week. Yeah.
Kind of like what we do for the 3 tracks, but, the dirt side.
Yeah,
Right.
don't be surprised if you come to Lee Speedway and or go to Legion Speedway and you might get a couple free Lee USA Speedway tickets when you go
No,
through
we'll
the
give you
gate,
guys
or
tickets.
Vice
We'll
versa.
give you tickets for all your tracks to hand out.
That's
That'd be
what
perfect,
this
yeah.
that's what this sport really needs
Right.
more than anything.
Yeah.
I think all of us here were at PRI and RPM, and that's really
Yeah.
the main thing they try to force in your head is that we
Right.
need to work together to
So,
make this
yeah.
sport happen.
You
So
have
what do they
to.
tell you? They tell you an island does not work.
Yep.
Right.
I agree.
So I was on an island. And that's why I reached out to you guys, met you in PRI, knew Ben before
Glad
that.
to meet you, Gilligan.
Okay, Skipper. But where's Marianne and Ginger? That's what I want to know. Yeah. I don't know about that. Yeah. You might be the SS minnow. But anyway, if you don't do it, that's why, you guys are asphalt tracks, but you still have race fans that come to your racetrack. You're doing the same thing I'm doing or trying to do, or I'm trying to do. And we need to keep these race fans entertained. You all have good drivers at your tracks. You all have good people at your tracks. We have good people. We have good drivers, but nobody knows. So we need to work with another racetrack or 2 or 3 or 4, and it's just the more racing people can enjoy a podcast instead of watching some stupid sitcom or Pat Sajak yelling at somebody or whatever. Right?
I gotta say the joke is actually on Joe Carpenter because he said Mark missed out. We had the Blackstone and heater going in the enclosed trailer on Saturday at Claremont. It was 90 degrees in it. Well, we had 2 heaters going in the tower, and I have a cell phone and already in the pit. So I just went cheeseburgers times 4 stat now. And the next thing I know, like there was Ben walks in with cheeseburgers. I'm like, great. So of course Ben brought them.
So the better food story from that whole experience was afterwards. Now, Ben comes up to me in the tower and he goes, "Hey, we're going to Pizza Hut after if you want to go." And I'm like, "Yeah, sounds good." As soon as Ben walks away, I looked at Mark and I'm like, he didn't know we were already going to Pizza Hut.
We were going to Pizza Hut regardless.
We were like, absolutely. We're 2 fat guys riding together. We're going to Pizza Hut.
We had that planned the day before.
Yeah. So I'm like, and I asked Ben, I go, "Is Mike coming?" He goes, "Yeah, I think so. I'll ask him." All right. So we all go to Pizza Hut. We're sitting there and
no Mike.
It's
weird.
Mark's phone rings. Who was it?
It was Mike.
It was Mike, yeah. And he goes, "Where are you guys?" And Mark goes, "Oh, we're all at Pizza Hut." He's like, "Well, thanks for the freaking invite." Mark turns around because we're at separate tables and goes, "Ben, did you not invite Mike?" And Ben turns around with a mouthful of stuffed crust pizza and just goes, "Oh, whoops."
I'm like, oh man, I'm like, I knew I forgot
Sorry,
something.
Mike.
It was some good pizza too.
It was.
Poor Mike.
Emily also did not get a Pizza Hut invite.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Charge him for your pictures.
Shut up, Brian. Jesus Christ.
Usually when I go to Claremont, I hit it used to be the Jiffy Mart in Newport, but now it's some weird place that you get the potato wedges. We got to incorporate
Chester's fried chicken.
We got to incorporate that into
you know what I like is
pits.
Brian Martin took me there was the Asian food place there, the Imperial.
Oh, Imperial's good.
Yeah, I like the
Imperial's
Imperial. I like it.
I've been
It's like a
kicked
Grand
out of
buffet,
that.
but way better.
I've been kicked out of that
Grand buffet.
twice. The one uptown.
Once before you even paid.
I don't think I'm allowed. So I think they went out of business. There used to be one uptown in Claremont where it used to be Phase Drugs back in the day, and it became an all-you-can-eat place. I think they went out of business now. I was legally not allowed in there.
I got caught hiding in the bathroom between lunch and dinner.
Yeah, they booted me out years ago.
Oh my God.
Hey, don't have an all-you-can-eat to-go buffet as an option. Of course, I'm taking everything that's good and loading it in my tray and leaving for $6. It's your own fault, guys. Come on now.
Jesus Christ.
You're an idiot.
What do you?
So what do you have any big races that you got going on or?
Not really. There's people that want to see Scone back at Legion, but I would like to see that happen as well, but it's not a moneymaker right now to me. And I can't afford to lose money on every show. I lose money on a regular weekly show sometimes. My big races, they're not big races, but Granite State mini sprints are popular. Fans seem to like them.
Yeah, they put on a good show.
And their car count is, and a lot of it is because of, social media stuff that you can see what's going on in Pennsylvania and at Millbridge in North Carolina. Like you had mentioned, Kyle Busch's kid, right? He races Kyle Larson's kid races. So that puts eyes. So Granite State mini sprints, it's the same car that they run, 500 or 600. Those kids are a little younger. They're running like a box stock right now. And it's kind of like the go-kart style stuff that you run at Claremont. But we don't really have big races, but we just have a full schedule. Our schedule will probably be out tomorrow.
What's the website where people can check it out?
LegionSpeedwayNH.com. We use my race pass just like you guys do, and as you guys know, it's really helped.
Life-changing.
It's life-changing, and the people that run that business, like I had talked to Josh Holt yesterday, who owns it. Emailed and told him about us meeting today and what I'm doing on a couple other things. And he says, hey, you're starting. It sounds like you're doing the right steps. So I'm not good at running my website. So again, if we need help with social media and website, you want to help a racetrack out, I'm your guy because I need help. But go look at my Facebook page, or those posts are all by me, and my daughter will text me 5 minutes after I post something, it's like, Dad, you didn't even put a comma where you're supposed to. And I'm like, well, I used to look at your homework and it all passed. So,
Hi, space,
Yeah,
space.
right. Well,
Hi.
yeah. So I was trying to make a worksheet yesterday, a Google spreadsheet, and I'm like, oh man, am I lost?
Yes.
But but I'm not. That's not who I am. But
Just one step at a time.
right. But
Yep.
going back to the races, granted, state mini sprints is a good little people. They bring 30 to 40 cars each event. They run 2 divisions. There's no drama. There's no fighting. They race. They want to race. They want to have fun. They stick around after. They cook out or whatever they want to do. It's fun. It's a fun group.
Yeah.
So we're glad to have them. And the fans really like the little cars. We've had a couple of girls win there, and that seems to be popular with people that come to our track.
Yep.
They like to see a 12, 13, 14-year-old girl win a race over boys. I mean, it's just popular with the crowd for some reason.
Yeah.
Now, where are you from originally? Because you said you're not from up here.
No, I'm from Connecticut. I'm a Flatlander.
So I'm super curious.
Technically, we're Flatlanders too down here. So
What got you? How did you end up owning Legion Speedway? Like, what
I
did
made
you just
a
wake
dumb
up one day and
decision.
said, "I want to buy
I
a
made
track
a dumb
nowhere near me"?
I've done it 3 times.
So- So anyway, I've been racing my whole life. My dad got me into racing when I was young. I grew up minutes from the Waterford Speed Bowl, Thompson Speedway.
Did your dad race too?
No, he didn't race. But a lot of people that he in the bar he hung around in, they
Hell yeah.
they raced.
Hell yeah.
So when I was 5, 6 years old, we'd be hanging out in somebody's garage. My dad would be like drinking beers, leaning on the race car, and they'd tell him to move. And
Like, yeah, hell yeah.
me and my brothers, we're 2 years apart each way. I'm the middle child, so there was three little boys there, and we were handing them wrenches, and we just loved it. And then, to make a long story short, I raced in Scone, and I only bought a sprint car to race at the time. It was Legion. Dean Hansen was running it, and then Dan bought it, and Dan Bound, and COVID and everything, and he was running in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday to, I don't know, whatever. But you can't run a dirt track in the afternoon in July or August because the dust.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take the water truck out every 5 minutes, and the people don't come because it's too dusty.
Mhm.
So we run a pretty efficient program, but I went to talk to Dan about helping him. Like, hey, can I help you out anyway? Can I get you some sponsorship? Can I find people to help you work? And he said, yeah, I'd love to help. And he said, but I can't afford to pay you because, I'm not a millionaire. And I said, well, I could retire from my construction career and help you out. And he said, that's fine. So about a week later, he called me and he said, hey, why don't you buy the place? Like, why would I do something stupid like that? And then 2 months later, I owned it. Me and my best friend, we bought it. And it's been okay. This would be our 3rd year going into it. There's a lot of struggles, but I mean, it's really cool to just go. I mean, I work construction, so for me to go there and get on a bulldozer or a backhoe or something and make an improvement, I like that. And then Friday night we race, and then Saturday I go back to work.
Yep.
But yeah, just like you guys know the deal. I mean, but that's how I ended up owning it, by the way.
We talk about racing and all this stuff, and I got to tell you, and you probably had the same wake up call I did. Everybody, it's really, really easy to see all the things from the outside looking in. Just do this and do that and do this. And then when you get into that position, and there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes. And I grew up in racing my entire life. Once you get on this side, you're like, wow, I never thought of that.
Oh, it pisses you right off.
And I'm like, I didn't think of this either.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's like the coolest things you could do. You can't.
Nothing
It's like 'cause you
pisses me
can't.
off more than when I go to bed with like a let's launch a human being out of a cannon type idea. And he's like, well, legal reasons. And I'm like, don't say big boy words like that. Let's just do something fun.
Trust me, I would love to do.
I know it, I
and
know.
you know me, I will
know.
push the limits. But sometimes when my lawyer comes like, hey Ben, hey, you might want to tone it down
Yeah.
a bit. I'm like, oh, really? Come
Right,
on.
but it's it's what you do. It's what makes it fun, right? You grow up at a racetrack. Yeah, times have changed dramatically. When I was a kid at Stafford Motor Speedway, they used to have this little clown. His name was Seymour the Clown. He drove a go-kart,
I like this.
and he would get in a fight with like Richie Evans, Bugsy Stevens. Bugsy Stevens would come out with his cigar, and here we are. We're 8 years old, and we're right there watching, and this little go-kart would come flying out of Jack Root would have him hiding somewhere, and he'd come flying out right before the modified feature, and he'd crash right in front of the. They couldn't go green because the go-kart flipped
I
over.
love
Yeah.
it.
And the place was like going crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
those are the things I remember as a kid. But nowadays, people are sitting in the grandstands on their phone. Hopefully, they're watching a race from another racetrack or somewhere instead of bad mouthing the racetrack they're at.
Yep.
I mean, we go to these seminars, we go to these things, and it's social media has really good things that you can do for your business. But
Double-edged sword,
It's a
man.
It's a double-edged sword. But what I'm saying, if the people the keyboard warrior people, if they knew how much it takes to even put this podcast on or do anything, they wouldn't type all the stuff they type. And if they read a full post, they wouldn't ask, how do I register to camp? How do I do this? It's all in there.
Yeah.
Don't look at the first word or don't read the comments before. But when you grow up at a racetrack, you see so many different things to have fun. I mean, I went to Hudson, Lee, Claremont, Monadnock, Star. I lived in Connecticut, but we still traveled to the races. We would go to a racetrack 3, 4, 5 nights a week if they were racing.
See, I only grew up going to Claremont. So I didn't grow up in a higher income level or any of that stuff. So like literally,
Me either.
I didn't realize there was other racetracks other than the ones you saw on TV. Like I had no clue that like Monadnock was 25 minutes down the road. Lee, never heard of Lee. Like I moved to Massachusetts and I was like, wait, Hudson has a racetrack?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
People are still saying that.
There's people in
they
that
say
town.
there's people in town that don't
they
know
don't
it's
know
there.
it's there.
But the thing is, I didn't grow up rich at all. I mean, my father was just a lineman and my mother didn't work. So that's what we did. My father and his friends, they were race chasers.
Claremont Motorsports Park back then was Claremont Speedway. That was the one thing. That was when there's 5 kids, there's only so much you can do. So that was our one day a week. Back then it was Saturdays, and we made a full day out of it. We would leave at noon, get there at like 1 o'clock, spend the entire day because they used to open it up early. It would just watch. They wouldn't let people in the pits that were not racers or above 18. So I would stand at the gate and stare right through the gate, watching everything that was going on in the pits. And I loved every single minute of it. It hooked me from the get-go. But that was our family's one getaway of the week. That's
right.
We didn't eat out. We didn't do anything. That was a racetrack. That was what we did. We went to the racetrack and enjoyed it.
But there's a lot of families like that. And those are the people that are still involved in racing when they're, you did it when you were a kid under 10 or whatever with your family as a family. You don't see too many families coming to the racetrack anymore. It's single parent with 2 kids or whatever, but it's still they're coming, but it's not a family event like it used to, because sometimes nowadays you're getting to the racetrack at 8 o'clock in the morning and you're not leaving until 10 o'clock at night. That's too long for somebody that's not involved with a race team.
Yep. I did see a couple questions rolling down about a lap sponsorship for the Ollie Silva ISMA race at Lee. We will be doing that. It'll probably be coming out probably just after first week of May. It'll be just a little bit later. I don't want to have too many lap sponsorship boards out at once and have people start signing up for the wrong things. With that being mentioned, we do have the national sponsorship board out. It's $100 a lap. All proceeds go right to the driver that leads that lap. So make sure you guys spread that word, get it out to your friends. If you have a small business, big business, anything that you want to do, just reach out to me, the USA Speedway Facebook page, and we'll make that happen for you guys. I also saw Chris Carver say First Responders Night. We will be doing that at Lee as well. I have not settled the date. I had one picked, but we just had to shuffle some stuff around in the back end. So we will be having a First Responders Night at Lee. Details will be to come.
I think all the way around this season. I don't know what I got to say. I think the event I'm most looking forward to at all the racetracks is probably Nationals. Because this is going to bring names that we've never seen before up here. Or at least I haven't. When I was walking around I was like a little kid down at New Smyrna. Like I was looking at Bubba Pollard's car going, that dude and that car are going to be at Lee.
Yep.
Like that is a pretty cool
I got a registration 2 days ago and I actually had to Google where the hell this guy was from. I had no idea where
The
it
one from
was.
Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, well, I've never
I
heard of
had
this place in
no
my entire
idea
life.
where he was from, but I'm like, hell, fucking come on down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Good
but
on
that's
ya.
going to be a good event for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I felt the same way walking through the pits at New Smyrna. You see the car count, you see the money that these people
And you
have
feel
invested.
the excitement
Yeah, and
in
you
the crowd.
and the crowd was good, you know, and that's the way it should be. It's like the old Oxford 250 back when I was a kid. We would go to that. It was like the bomb back then.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Back when they were bringing
Right.
80, 90 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yep.
you look at Snowball Derby, right? You look at those type of events. Those are big super late model races that there's nothing in the Northeast.
Were you in the meeting where how much he spent
Yeah.
per? I'm like,
Oh yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, yeah, I got some good money, and then he goes, oh yeah, it costs this much, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's like.
Well, that's
5 times the amount of what I'm spending.
yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
holy
think about
crap.
Yeah.
think about me. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even
Well,
know that much existed.
He says it like it's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
5 times more than you're spending. You're on year 1. They're on year 54.
Right. Yeah.
Or 57.
But
Something
I mean,
like that.
look how, like he said in that meeting, how long it took him to grow that event, and
Well,
what
he even adopted that event. So
right,
the
he
previous
adopted it. But
owner-
what he did with his campers and how he supports the campers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, you look at a place like Thompson with their World Series. There's campers from back gate to front. I mean, that's loaded with campers.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest used to be that way. I don't know if it still is, but
Oh, yeah. I mean,
used-
it's growing.
yeah, but I
It's
mean, it
growing.
used to be when I went with the modifieds, when I was crewing on modifieds, we'd go to run that race, and the campers were unreal then.
I went to Oktoberfest, I think 2 or 3 years. Not 3. 1 or 2 years in a row. I didn't even go to the races. I
Yeah.
just went at night. You know what I mean? You go walk around the camping area and not
the
remember the rest of
one
it.
Oktoberfest that sticks in my mind, if Bob Williams still watching, is when me and Bob
yeah.
Williams got in kind of a tussle and he choked me out. And he actually left because he got so mad. I can't be here. I'm like, why? He goes, no.
Because I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you. I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow, Bob. So
Oh,
I see the comment, the Cabbage Patch down in. You drive by that place in New Smyrna, the Cabbage Patch Biker Bar.
yeah, we drove
Oh,
by.
yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff,
See the campground that guy has there.
Speaking
oh,
of
that
bars,
is
That
something.
place is
I didn't
wild.
even
Probably
tell
right
Ben
now it's
about
Bike
this,
Week.
but the Checkered Flag Pub at Lee, yeah, that's no more. We are going to change the name of that, and as of 2024, it's now going to be called the Pit Stop.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Have you? No, okay, never.
No,
Yeah.
But there'll be some new. I know the lights. I was going through. Some of the lights are flickering. I'm like, oh, it's full of water. That's why. So we'll be. There'll be a new look over there for you beer drinkers this year. We'll put some new lights up, and
Now,
it'll look good.
somebody was asking about lights on the scale house because the new tech building is in the infield.
So I said to Dennis, a lot of people want the LED light board because of you might have to roll the damn car back. The car's not centered. I'm not going to put an LED board with their exact weight to show everybody. But I have said since the very beginning to do a red light, green light.
Yeah, red light, green light, like
they do-
Eldora does.
Exactly. And
The whole
I
crowd
asked
knows
Dennis,
instantly.
the tech guy at Hudson and and Lee, and they have an infield tech center at Hudson now. And I go, hey, what do you think about a red light, green light? And he goes, no, we have one at Hudson. And I'm like, you do? He goes, yeah, it's real hard to remember to flip that switch. So
There is one at Claremont too. I don't think it's been used forever, but if you're looking at the scale house to the right,
You're right, it is.
there is one there, red green,
But
right
you
there as
could-
well.
That new shack that I saw on your post you just put a piece of unistrut up there or a pole or something with the light high
Yeah.
enough, so when he passes of the scales,
that's a big
flick it
moment. I
green.
mean, people don't
Yeah.
understand the moment in the crowd when everybody's on tension. I mean, it's excitement. You know what I mean? It'll get your heart racing for a couple seconds for no good reason at all.
So Brian Marino just asked, "What was the big news? Kyle Busch
Hot
is
dog
coming
eating
back."
Oh,
Not wrong one.
Kyle Busch is coming back to lead June 21st.
Somebody just announced they were racing that race too, so it's going to be a pretty fun race. That hasn't.
Yeah, so not only is I can say it's out online. So he just posted it, I think 5 hours ago. But Derek Nealon, Kyle Busch's spotter for the Cup Series, is going to be back in his car and racing on that night too. So it'll be spotter versus driver again, and a whole field of other hungry people behind him. $10,000 to win. That'll be a good show.
That's not even. Yeah, that's not even to say like that's not even the biggest pro stock event at that track
No.
this season. Like, I can't even believe you can't keep all of this straight.
It should be a damn good show. And then I'm also, we talk about the new stuff. I'm real excited for Oktoberfest this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing it. A lot of people know what I mean by this. We're doing it the old way. We're doing it the way
Right,
that
but
we all know.
It's like you said earlier, you took it over with somebody else's schedule.
Yep.
Now you can do things, little changes to make it your way, to make it fan friendly, like your other tracks. And if it works at one, you move it on to another with something simple.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and we live and we learn.
Right.
I'll prime example, the last year's Ollie Silva. I mean, not to discredit 350 super modifieds at all. They're a hell of a race car. The drivers in them are insane, and they put on a great show. They
Yeah, it
even
was a
did
good
that
show.
night. But the Ollie Silva and what people were coming for, it's that big block group. It's definitely a clique. I mean, I was having 50 to 60-year-old men from across the country call me and bitch my ear off about us not having big block supers. And we ran it, we tried it. It worked, but not as good as we wanted to.
I've
so
never seen the big block supers before.
I keep forgetting that.
They are wicked.
I know.
That's the night you're gonna want those
I'm
earplugs.
excited. I'm excited.
You're gonna want those earplugs.
Well, trailer's in a new place, so it won't. Hopefully, won't be at the thing that people that come into the trailer when it's at Lee for the first time say, "Wow, it's really loud in here," because it's right when the car chips,
How many?
right at the end of the
How many
straightaway.
pig roasts this year? A couple. We'll have a couple for you. We'll have
Movies,
one-
drive-in.
Yeah, we'll have a bunch of good stuff. I know we're doing one at Oktoberfest, and we're going to do one at the Nationals, I think. Yes. So one at the Nationals, one at Oktoberfest, and we'll see what plays out from there.
That's all I got, guys.
Good time.
Yeah.
Got an exciting season ahead of us. We will be up in Barrie, Vermont, guys, at the BOR Arena, March 29th and 30th.
Hang on, do you want to take that comment?
Dad, come on. You didn't watch the show in the beginning. Kyle Busch is
Hey, Matt.
coming to Lee.
Hi, Matt.
Kyle Busch.
And Matt, we actually said we want to have you on the show at some point too.
Yeah, we were going to have a dad session. John's dad and your dad, and me. So,
No, Matt.
sorry.
No,
My dad, which is you. Come on here. This is
no.
me.
Matt, your son's lying to you. It was my idea, so you can take it out on me. It's going to be you and the 3 Hennessy's, and we're just going to press play
Oh,
and
my
walk
God.
out. We'll go get lunch.
What
And,
I think we'll do is I'll control the show from over here out of you. We'll put you here, your dad over there, Matt here, Ben here. That way you guys can have fun discuss. I could flip this right
That'd be
around
good.
and just let you guys run the roost one day.
That'd
Oh,
be
my
good.
God.
You see that massive pile of equipment over there?
Yeah.
We can reuse that.
That would have to be a record, edit, and post.
There'd be a lot of
Censor
vulgar
button.
words.
Should be 3 minutes of usable content.
So that's all we have today. Matt's like, I just turned the show on.
Thank you guys for having me.
TiVo.
Yeah, Ronnie,
Thank you,
appreciate
Ronnie,
it.
yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
Guys,
No,
if you're looking to get into a racetrack, if you want to work at a racetrack, if you're at a freaking racetrack all the time anyways, you might as well get paid to be there, or at
Right.
least want to get inside of the officiating side. So reach out to Ronnie, go up to Legion, support their racing, and that's really what it's all about.
So what's this Corey guy going to call me in the morning?
I'm sure he will.
messaged me. He wants me to.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you his information.
Well, that's
so.
it. I mean,
No,
Corey,
but that's how it works, right?
Corey will go up on a Friday night.
Well-
I'm sure if I'm free, I'll go with him.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
grab Planky and we'll go.
it's just,
No.
it's
No,
a different
blankets.
world. It's a different world. But, yeah, but,
Hey, if I go up there, I want to run a wrecker.
yeah, you can run a car. I don't care. Yeah. But no, but I just thank you for having me on, inviting me and meeting with me today and discussing a few things. And I did see the track's name on there a couple of times, so there are people
Yeah,
that
people are listening to you.
people that support short tracks in New Hampshire. Some people have given up on the place, but so I see one person's at the track in Romney. Yep, that's us. Like I say, it all works if we work together, in my opinion. So thank you.
Couldn't say it any better.
Couldn't say that any
That's awesome.
better.
Mike Parks is going to be sitting at Claremont one of these Fridays and being like,
Where's my whole crew?
Nah, he won't. Trust me, he does good over there.
all right, guys, can't thank you enough for all the support you give us on social media. Remember, you never know when a random share of one of our posts might land a ticket into your inbox. It might land. we're in the season of giving. So the more you share, the more you interact with our stuff, you never know. You might just be on the end of a random ticket showing up in your inbox or anything like, hey, here's a free hot dog at one of the tracks. Like the
Like
more
Ben
you
for
share,
it.
the more it helps
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
If Ben will give you a hot dog out of his contest.
Really? Now they corrupted you?
that was a really
Jesus
good hot
Christ,
dog,
you
though.
suck.
Poor
Hey,
Ben.
guys.
It was a good hot dog, but
We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Hi, guys.
see ya.
See ya.
Poor Ben owns 3 racetracks.
Don't say anything yet because we're still live, guys.